Kia ora guys, my name's Max and welcome back to my channel. A big thank you to my patrons as I'm gearing up towards my return to analysis videos. But before I make my return this weekend, there's a bit of bombshell news coming out of Wales. You see, I had the jersey all ready, all just over me for the 2024 Six Nations Championship. But instead, I have the bombshell news, and here's the message straight from the man himself, because I don't know if you guys are going to do the same as Dillon Lewis and think this is April Fool's, but this is not April Fool's. Rees Zammit, I'm going to say this twice, wants to convert to the NFL. Yeah, you heard me right. He wants to convert and play in the NFL. The National Football League of the United States of America. He would rather play gridiron with a helmet and stop-start revolving around ads every 14 seconds or so than play for Wales in the Six Nations. My Welsh heritage definitely does make me feel the need to support them a fair bit, but when it comes to what's happened behind the scenes, it's well documented. I've shared my thoughts on it before. Catch-22 and Connor Does Rugby, they've both done phenomenal videos covering the issues with Welsh rugby behind the scenes before. But Rees Zammit, I'm going to read the statement instead, says, I would like to take this opportunity to announce a significant career decision that I have taken after careful consideration. In a move that I am extremely excited about, I can confirm that I will be joining the NFL's International Player Pathway Program in pursuit of earning a spot on an NFL roster in the United States for 2024. Now, this is a bit of a myth busting for people crying about rugby needing to speed the game up, because my wife watches a bit of American sport. She's a basketball referee, so she just kind of does it to keep herself in the loop of, trends that are going to occur when she's officiating games here in New Zealand. And, well, let's just say that the NFL, the NBA, they're not exactly spectacles. You have a bit of action in the NFL about every 14 seconds or so. As soon as a tackle's been made, they just mess around, they wait around, wait for ads to stop, then they form their set piece or whatever their equivalent of it is again. Despite this being a factor, despite the game revolving around the ads, Rees Zammit feels he would be better off and he would be more valued in the NFL. He continues with the second page of the statement saying, opting to step away from international rugby on the eve of the Six Nations has been a painstaking decision, but I am extremely excited to take up a once in a lifetime opportunity, to pursue a new challenge. My immense gratitude also goes to Gloucester Rugby, a club that is extremely close to my heart, and particularly George Skivington and Alex Brown for allowing me to head in a different direction over the next few weeks. Although this decision may come as a surprise, I would like to reiterate that this does not necessarily mean I'm retiring from rugby, but rather at this age and stage of my life, I'm excited to explore a unique challenge that has the potential to diversify my skill set. My best wishes in a third page, he says, they go out to Wales for the upcoming Six Nations and year ahead, while I will continue to closely follow the continued progress of Gloucester from afar. To all of my followers, fans and family, I thank you for your support and look forward to having you backing me throughout this next chapter. Rees Zammit. Yeah, this is happening. The guy's 22 with more test caps than his age already there, He was the youngest British and Irish Lion since literally the 1950s. I know, guys, he's a winger. Perhaps we shouldn't be too crazily alarmed about it. But for me, this is just a continuation of a rather disturbing trend I've seen in rugby for about the last 12 months or so. I was a little perplexed when Alex Fiedel, who used to play for the Hurricanes, switched over to play for the South Logan Magpies, which is, I think, the second division of what Australia calls the NRL, their National Rugby League, which the New Zealand Warriors also compete in. And Solomon Alaimalo, one of my followers on Instagram, used to play for the Chiefs. He's also converting to play in the NRL for 2024 this season. But the thing is, there have also been some really big name players like Stuart Hogg, who prematurely retired, whether this is due to the abuse he received online, due to a bit of personal issues he's himself had off the field due to his injuries, We'll never know which of the three was the ultimate factor in Stuart Hogg's retirements, but Stuart Hogg is definitely a guy who's really copped it verbally online from, the fans, the quote-unquote fans, I'll say. Stuart Hogg has received a lot of backlash for just silly things like his haircut, the poor guy. Owen Farrell as well. England's greatest ever player by a massive margin. I will happily reply to every single comment debating me on Owen Farrell in this video, because Owen Farrell, there's daylight between him and the next guy. England beat South Africa 4 out of the 8 times they faced them under Eddie Jones, with Owen Farrell's nerves of steel stepping up time and time again. He did so in 2012 against the All Blacks for England, aged just 21 or so. He was World Player of the Year nominee in his first year of Test rugby, further 2 times 2016-17, single-handedly got the series for the Lions back into their control in 2017, masterminded a huge upset in 2019 at the semi-final against the All Blacks, third Lions tour for 2021, Six Nations again in 2020. I mean, come on. Owen Farrell's an absolute legend, and yet all I ever seem to read about the guy is just nastiness, people calling him names, people saying he should off himself. Owen Farrell during the World Cup was booed by his own fans. Guys, he's just simply had a long career where, bad things are bound to happen. When you've played probably 400 professional matches, people are going to be able to find some stuff in there. There's also the factor of Mark Nwangani-Tawasu, who was, very, very happy with how he was being coached by Eddie Jones, of what he said to the media was anything to go off. Mark Nwangani-Tawasu, a bright, shining light for the Wallabies, one of just 3 Australian players playing for Australia, good enough to play Test rugby. He is also converting to the NRL. And now Rees Zammit is the next, person following in these footsteps. Rees Zammit's unbelievably promising. I mean, look at any past videos of mine, and I was sure he was going to be the Welsh fullback for 2024 and onwards. But for me, this is a pretty disturbing trend, and the fact this is happening, it just can't be a coincidence to me. Look, Rees Zammit is the son of a property developer. You can find him wearing Prada. You can speculate about maybe he has an ego, maybe, he is a bit greedy, but I'm not going to do that because I've never met the person. I instead want to say that us as rugby fans, we need to hold ourselves more accountable. It's all well and good to, say a guy's doing really well, but the way a lot of rugby fans behave in 2024, like as soon as a player bursts onto the scene, they're always, the next big thing. Look at players like Zach Mercer, who have just gone on to be bang average. Everyone was saying he was the next big thing. People said the same about Ngani Laumapi, who didn't improve at all. People said the same thing even in the 2000s about guys like Isa Nathewa and guys like Isaiah Tuiava here in New Zealand. Guys like Joe Cokanasiga haven't really kicked on, As soon as players make the tiniest of mistakes, the fan base just seems to turn on them so brutally. It's so unforgiving and it's not cool. I'm not perfect. I've said bad things in the past, but there's a reason I continue just to only reference performance when I discuss players, unless they bring things onto the pitch here on this channel. Rees Zammit has played for a team that's really been through the ringer. Wales had a really, really bad time under Wayne Pivac as their head coach, and heading into the 2023 World Cup, things weren't really looking good either with, all the off-field stuff that's been documented in previous videos. I was probably one of the few rugby content creators actually saying Wales were going to top that pool. Most people were saying either Australia or Fiji were going to top that pool, but I was like, I think Wales are going to do it. I've got evidence. Here's the video. And Wales actually did it. It can't be easy being on the receiving end of so many insults like that, being on the receiving ends of people just not really giving Wales the respect they deserve. For every flaw in Welsh rugby, at least they're going to turn up, they're going to play so unbelievably determined when it comes to their attitude. Rees Zammit, if he feels like he's going to just have a hard time being in a team that's not really feeding him the ball that much, well, he's not going to feel valued. Guys like Owen Farrell, Stuart Hogg, they haven't feel valued, and Rees Zammit potentially falls into the same category. As rugby fans, we just got to be more realistic. I mean, the thing is, casuals who come into the Rugby World Cup, they're coming across, they're seeing a fan base that's so unbelievably negative. I mean, the biggest rugby YouTuber here is pretty rude to a few players. There's a channel out there that completely dedicates its content to putting refs under the bus, throwing them under the bus. And I'm just like, guys, we need to just have more of a wholesome outlook when it comes to the things that are good, and we also need to put a foot down on the things that are bad. Death threats in the comment sections, nah. Whereas when we look at comeback stories there, like the Welsh in 2023, we got to absolutely cherish moments like those. There's a reason my video on Wales versus Australia got 50,000 views, because I had so much praise in that starting intro for Wales, and I really did my best to make those players feel that their achievement had some value. As rugby fans, we need to make the players feel more valued, because why should a 22-year-old with so much more to achieve be going to the NFL? Is it money? Is it ego? Is it fans being rude to him? We're never going to know. But this isn't painting a very good picture for rugby whatsoever. The fact that I'm making this video and not a video about the Welsh squad, it's not ideal. Guys, keep spreading love. Enjoy yourself for the rest of the day. Do like this video, subscribe to me, and share your thoughts on Rees Zammit's move down in the comments below. It's a bit of a shock. It's not April Fool's Day though, so I will see you in the next video, guys. Really appreciate it. From Max.